Good day everyone, I'm Moyo and I'll be taking General Training Tax 1, which is letter writing. We'll be back shortly. Okay, welcome back. So like I said, we're going to be looking at General Training IELTS Writing Tax 1. So the General Training IELTS Writing Tax 1 comprises of letter writing, or we are being asked to write a letter. So there are different kinds of letter. We have the formal letter, the semi-formal letter, and the informal letter. So we are going to look at the different type of letter and what we are expected to write when we are being asked to write any of these letter. So now let's look at the formal letter. A formal letter is often an official letter written to someone whose identity we don't have an idea of, or whose identity we do not know. Let me take that again. A formal letter is often written to someone whose identity is unknown, and the person usually occupies a position of authority. So now, in order to begin your formal letter, you begin with Dear Sir or Madam. On the IELTS test, we don't write addresses, so you don't need to bother with any address. So you begin your letter simply with Dear Sir or Madam. Then you end your letter with Yours faithfully. Though in recent time, Yours sincerely is acceptable as well. So now let's move on. The other kind of letter that is common is the semi-formal letter. The semi-formal letter. Now, this is also an official letter or a formal letter, but the difference is that you already have the identity of the person you're writing to. That simply means you already know the name of the person you're writing to. And in this, most of the time we write this kind of letter to our teacher, our doctor, our employer, or even the manager of the organization where we work in. So we'll begin with Dear, the person's title, either Dr., Mr., Mrs., Ms., then the person's surname. So Dear Mr. Smith, Dear Mrs. Adam. Then we could end our semi-formal letter with Yours sincerely, best regards. But most of the time, the acceptable mode is Yours sincerely. That's for semi-formal letter. Now let's look at the last type of letter, and that is the informal letter. Now the informal letter is often written to someone that you're familiar with. It could be a family member or a friend. A family member or your friend or your colleague. And you begin the letter with Dear, then the person's first name. So sometimes you could write a nickname, but the person's first name is preferable under examination condition. So you could end the letter with best wishes, best regards, or Yours sincerely. So let's go and look at example when we get back. Welcome back. So now let's look at example of the formal letter, semi-formal letter, as well as the informal letter. So we'll start with the formal letter. Here's the question. You ordered equipment online. However, when you received it, it was damaged. Send the letter to the manager of the company. In your letter, you should give details about the equipment, explain the damage, suggest what you want the manager to do. That's the question. So we are being asked to give details of the equipment we purchased online, explain the damage, then suggest what you want the manager to do. So let's look at an example. So we have Dear Sir or Madam. I'm writing this letter to inform you about a faulty delivery made by your company. So that's the purpose outrightly. So now we start. Last week, I ordered a chimney for the kitchen from your online store. I unpacked and assembled the chimney, and when I put it to work, it created a loud jarring noise. Upon inquiring with a local electrician, he reported that the chimney's noise controller was not working properly. I am disappointed with the product as I had ordered an A-grade chimney from a reputed online store, which cost a huge fortune.
Hi, do you know that you can get better in-depth teaching on this topic you are watching right now? Simply use the link in the description where you can get access to our tutors, your favorite tutor, one-on-one, and discuss a conversation on joining our live class. You can also go to our website on www.allcbts.com to book a session with your favorite tutor.
I immediately called the customer service and registered my complaint. They gave me a complaint ID for future reference. I regret to inform you that it's been over a week and no action has been taken on the issue. I repeatedly called the customer service quoting my complaint ID. Every time I was told they would look into the matter. At a point, I got frustrated and decided to write you. I have a 5-year warranty for the chimney, so I would like you to replace the chimney or at least the noise controller. If not, I request a refund. I am looking forward to your immediate action in this regard. Yours sincerely, Adam. So, that's the example. The writer has stated everything that was being asked in the question. The first paragraph here mentioned what he bought and the problem with it. The second one mentioned what he has done, that's explaining the step he has carried out, and the third mentioned what he wants the manager to do. The manager should replace the chimney or the noise controller, and if they wouldn't do that, he is requesting for a refund. So that has all been answered. So now let's go on and look at semi-formal letter sample. Now here is the semi-formal letter sample. Here's the question. You're planning a week-long vacation and you need someone to take care of your house while you are away. Write a letter to your neighbor and tell them you're going away. In your letter, you should explain why you will be away, ask them to take care of your house, explain what tasks you would like your neighbor to do. The first is explain why you'll be away. The second is ask them to take care of your house. And the third is explain what tasks you would like your neighbor to do. So here is an answer. So we have, Dear Shiam, I'm writing to let you know that I'm going on a month's trip to Delhi with my family to visit my aunt. I'm utilizing the LTC, Leave Travel Concession, component given by my bank. I need your help and support during this period to take care of my house when I'm away. I've made arrangements for my brother Jim, who stays nearby, to visit the house every week. I've also informed my maid about Jim's timings. She will come to the house when Jim is in so that he can monitor the house cleaning. Also, I've handed over the keys to security, but I insist that you attend to any visitor who may accidentally visit my place. Also, please collect any letters or couriers in my absence and hand it over to Jim. I hope that is not too much of a favor to ask. I will also ensure that you get connected with Jim on WhatsApp. Kindly reply and let me know if you can manage the situation. If not, I will make alternate arrangements. Yours truly, Andrew. So this is an example of a semi-formal letter. The writer is going on a trip and is actually pleading with his neighbor to help check things around when he's not available, and that has been mentioned in the letter. So now let's look at the third one, which is the informal letter. Now here's the informal letter. The informal letter, here's the question we have. There is a public event coming up in your town. Write a letter to your friend who you think would be interested to take part in it. Who you think would be interested to take part in it. In your letter, you should describe the event, explain why you think he or she would be interested in it, suggest an arrangement to meet there. Okay? So now let's look at the sample. Dear Emily, I hope this letter finds you in good health. I can imagine your excitement in reading this letter. Yes, I'm inviting you to my place, Assam, this April. I know it's the end of your college second semester and you'll be wondering how to spend the holidays. Don't think anymore. Just get on the flight and come down to Assam. In April, there's a festival called Pashago. It is celebrated by the tribe called Borokasharis of Assam. It is celebrated at the outset of springtime to welcome Mother Nature. Many traditional instruments such as kwabag, jota, gogona, sifong, kam will be played. At the end of this Bashagu festival of Assam, a community prayer called Gajasali will be held where all Assamese will get together in a common place. As you are interested in exploring different cultures, I'm sure that this event will be a great entertainment and learning experience for you. I've made arrangements for you to stay at my home. I will pick you at the airport. Convey my regards to your parents. With lots of love, Jane. So you can see that's an example of an informal letter written from a friend to another friend, detailing details of a festival coming up in the friend's hometown. So it's actually necessary that the letter we write captures all of the questions that has been asked.